Jamon Hawk, and this is my week 7 video blog part 1. Today we have a 3-part discussion. The first part we're going to discuss what is business process model and notation, or BPMN, and then we're gonna the second part we're going to explain why we need such a language, and the third one we're actually going to provide an healthcare example of where BPMN can be used. Let's start off with what is business process meant. Business process modeling notation, BPMN, is a flowchart method that models the steps of a planned business process from end to end. A key to business process management, it visually depicts a detailed sequence of business activities and information flow needed to complete a whole process. Its purpose is to model ways to improve efficiency, account for new circumstances, or gain competitive advantage. The method has been undergoing a standardization push in the past few years, and is now often called by a slightly different name, business process model and notation, instead of business process modeling and notation. But it still uses the BPMN acronym. But it's different from the unified modeling language in that it used in software design. At a high level, BPMN is targeted at participants and other stakeholders in a business process to gain understanding through and easy to understand visual representation of the steps. And at a more involved level, it targeted at the people who would implement the process, giving sufficient detail to enable precise implementation when doing the project. It provides a standard common language for all of the stakeholders, whether you're technical or non-technical, business analysis, process participants, managers, and technical developers, as well as external teams and consultants. Ideally, it bridges the gap between process intentions and implementation by providing sufficient detail and clarity into the sequence of business activities. Now, the second part is why we need such a language. Pretty much business process modeling is becoming a higher priority for business managers and analysts analysis to as there is an increasing emphasis in organizations to document, understand, and improve their business processes. Well documented and streamlined processes are essential in a smooth functioning of a team, as they help to ensure consistency, trackability, and focuses toward a shared goal. The diagramming can be far easier to understand than a narrative text would be. It allows for easier communication and collaboration to reach the goal of an efficient process to produce a high quality result. It also helps communication, leading to XML documentations, documents that needed to be executed in various processes. Furthermore, the BPMN provides important benefits to companies and organizations, such as align operation and business strategies, improve process communication, increase control and consistency, improve operational efficiencies, and also help them gain competitive advantages. And the third one is how this can be used in a healthcare environment. Well, the example that I found is the healthcare called Whittier Health Network. And what they do, they provide quality, comprehensive medical care to its residents in a compassionate family care setting. The network is comprised of an acute rehabilitation hospitals, subacute rehabilitation and long-term care facilities, management services, and institutional pharmacies at-home healthcare agency, and a adult psychiatric hospital. Now, the problem with them is that they was annually they have this enrollment process, being that they have over 2,000 plus employees who all needed to be processed in a 3-week span. The volume of the documents to process was overwhelming, and they wanted it an easier way that would automate more of the process. And so the goal was to find a product that did not require a lot of expenses for training their employees on how to do it. So what they did, they began with a smaller process of the online applications, And when it was successful, they went into like the use of like process directors to implement the full employee benefits enrollment process. Rather than like scanning forms of information and gathering signatures and approvals, the full process was like automated with the healthcare BPM improvement, and which it made it less challenging, less painful, friendlier, and like more effective process director. And it also took like a complicated healthcare workflow enrollment process, and it simplified it like completely. So that's my video blog. Hope you guys enjoyed. That's it.